In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the thought process on how to carry in ranked while playing Cypher.
Cypher, are you maxi, bro?
What?
Are you maxi?
No.
Switching sides.
I think I got that radiant player on my team. Let's go.
So this is a game where I go 28 and 13 on Cypher while having a tracker score of 943. Usually when it comes to Cypher, I like being sneaky peeky, so I always go with a ghost, a cage, and a trip. I toss a cam right here just to spot hauls. I'm not looking to stop them or anything like that. I just want something to give me a heads up in case somebody is coming there. In the future, I'm going to be replacing this with a trip. Gonna be honest, I get to A very late just because I'm stupid. So I don't have a setup or anything, so I'm gonna be playing out this round the good old fashioned way. Just good old gun toting. I toss a trip on the fly right here on the right in case somebody tries to make a play for space late, but aside from that, I'm just shooting. My biggest piece of advice for people trying to be impactful on Cypher is to try to be a cockroach. Even when the ash settles from nuclear warfare, cockroaches stubbornly remain. So be a cockroach, or like an eel, or a rat. The more you can stubbornly survive and be a thorn in their sides, the harder you're gonna make their life.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, he's dead, he's dead.
Okay, you wanna go left? Here, go some side. Let's go left.
Last player standing.
Oh wow.
Nice, good shit.
Oh, I said I mollied right, but I said it when I was muted. My
You got the
bad.
whole
Here you can see me rat out and stay alive for a really long time. I don't fight until this Viper is in a position to pinch and flank. The Viper is threatening our security, so after I take him out, my main goal is to just hold out and punish any overextends and just buy time for my Viper who's still rotating. After that, I'm trying to be really mindful and just double up with my Viper in this 2v1. If you're ever in a 2v1 situation, just buddy up. Don't make it complicated. Swinging into two people is incredibly harder than just swinging into just one. Fight for the trade. The math backs it up. Percentages or whatever. For the next round, I place a trip right here in halls just to section it off. I almost humor buying a scout till I realize they planted the spike, so that gives them extra money. There's a small chance that they can force here, so I go with a spectre instead. I place a standard tripwire right here in the ground just in case for their jet dash or for anybody walking out, while placing a cage right here to block off this choke point and make these guys scared of back sight. The threat of somebody being there is more than enough to maybe stall a bit. I place a cam inside of A main for some early info. There's hardly any activity towards the A side of the map, so I kind of just rotate to help out my Sova, get on top of this box, and shoot somebody. And with that, we go up 2-0. This next round, I toss pretty much the same exact pieces of util, with the exception of this trip over here being a lot more passive. Since Sova can buy now, I want the trip to be a little bit more far behind in case he has shock darts. The sole purpose of this trip is to get a kill. I completely miss my cam, but it doesn't matter because they end up rushing B anyways. Aside from that sheriff pick, this round is really uneventful because you just get hunted down. The next round, halt trip again, except this round, I'm making a quick change to the game plan.
We'll probably be with you this round though.
Yes, come.
If you want to be a max rank level Cypher, you gotta float. There's good to be had from being an anchor to a site, but once you start doing really well at holding it down, people will actively avoid your bomb site. And that's how people always get stuck on the always retaking mode. So if you want to carry, the key is to be unpredictable. Show your presence on each of the sites. I toss a cam towards mid just to spot out for any funny business. I instantly turn around to help out my Viper the second it sounds like they're gearing up for a B hit.
Again.
Me to do.
Cage triggered.
Oh my god, bro, they want your asshole. They want it so bad. You should hold that corpse.
One enemy remaining.
I end up whiffing on the last guy, but my rotate ended up winning us a round. Since my Viper's stuck on site and in trouble here, I'm not going to let her fight alone here. Since right here my Viper's in trouble, I'm not going to let her fight alone. Right here, with me playing off of her, we have a strong crossfire. She ends up getting the brunt of the attention because she's the one that's tossing mollies and stuff, and that helps me get 2 freebies on the dudes who are too busy looking at her. And on top of that, I want to be able to capitalize off her orb and her molly. People running through smokes are always going to be at a disadvantage. There's so many different angles that you got to clear at the same exact time. So I don't even have to have crazy aim to get the easiest 2 picks of my life. The next round, surprise surprise, trip halls again. This round I'm playing chess. I'm right back towards B because I'm trying to be a step ahead. I'm hoping that they think I would have swapped back to A to strap it up, so B might be their obvious choice. I was almost right because they did Viper wall here and we did see some early activity. Unfortunately, some of our A players die, so I gotta be on the move. I end up whiffing so badly that I make a completely different crosshair. Unfortunately, losing the last round broke our economy, so I buy a sheriff and I'm free to play however I want. I walk down mid, but they end up taking A, and I do nothing of importance. Since there hasn't been a single time where they showed presence in halls, I start saving both of my trips for site. I'm not going to be tripping halls again until they give me a reason to trip it again. I'm tossing the unbreakable trip because it's really hard for people to lurk on it, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to get shock darted anyways. You want to have something to stall even just a little bit, while tossing a kill trip all the way back to a site in case somebody's getting really aggressive. I also toss this cam right here, and it's really important to be able to spot the jump up towards nest.
You wanna be main with them?
Cage triggered.
You like him being.
Give me a corpse.
Like all main right now.
Triggers and HP.
I lose a gunfight to the chamber because he has pretty nuts aim, but it's all good because I did my job. The second I see the Sova drone wrapping around towards this ladder area, I instantly jump in this little corner to try to hide from it. I shoot my gun to completely mask the sound of my drop, and in case somebody was really paying close attention, I double back to try to fake it out. And since my trip is still up, that gives me a lot of security to hold a really aggressive angle in case if somebody's walking up to try to break it. And this Reyna walks perfectly inside of my crosshair. Going into the next round, since they just got completely shut down on B yet again, I'm seriously doubting they try for a third time. So I trip halls to cancel out any lurkers, while tossing the unbreakable trip to prevent people from walking out of B, toss a cam for info, and completely leave the side up for retake. I head towards mid and try to channel my inner duelist. Remember, being unpredictable is one of the greatest attributes that you can have. I'm just trying to hold a really strong foothold in middle and then maybe just try to re-lurk on the people if they try to go up elbow, while periodically checking my camera on B. If you want to carry on Cypher, you gotta be able to switch up your tempo. It's what makes Cypher mains like Dazznerth really good. One round he can be ratting in a corner with a shotgun, while in another he can be playing like an absolute madman and entering with a shorty.
I think they're walking B.
One elbow.
Tripwire destroyed.
LP.
Where is everyone hiding? Cage triggered.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Cook.
I have a cam, hold up. I don't know where he's at. Oh.
Last
Tunnel,
player
tunnel.
standing.
Party.
Nowhere to run!
Oh, cancel.
Cage triggered.
Nice.
This is no problem.
So by playing like an absolute rat, I catch the chamber with his pants down. After taking him out, I ulti his body, and that clears up the picture for the rest of his teammates. I commit to holding an angle on the Reyna because we're still in a 2v3, so I gotta try to equalize it into a 2v2 as soon as I can. After taking out that guy, I run all the way towards the window to try to introduce a really weird off angle. And so since I set up my utility for a retake, my camera helps me spot out this Sova. I'm in a 1v1 here, and I know more or less where he's at. So even though time is on his side, I do hold one advantage. The spike is not planted for him. So I instantly make my way to tap the spike to force him into acting. If you start breaking down 1v1 situations like a turn-based game, it makes it a little bit easier for you. If I don't tap the spike, all this guy has to do is just hide and wait for the time to run out. So I have to force him to act one way or another. By tapping the spike, he's forced to use his ultimate. I tank one hit of the Sova ult to stick the half because I know each wave of a Sova ult only hits for 90. So after I get half, I focus on dodging it to stay alive. He ended up getting out of his ultimate. Whether he was scared of getting pushed or confident that he got me off the spike, I don't know. Regardless, the same principles as before apply. I toss a cage and tap the spike again to pressure him into acting once more. Getting the half gives me a ton of security while it lights a fire under his ass. He's forced to sprint at me to try to stop me from defusing it, and since I know exactly where he's stepping at, it allows me to easily peek him for an easy dub. Work smarter, not harder. The next round's pretty uneventful. In hindsight, I definitely should have moved to A because they have lost B 4 times in a row. They end up taking A pretty convincingly and we lose the round. For the next round, I start off on A, but since I'm really broke, nothing really comes from it. We actually almost win this round, but unfortunately luck doesn't go our way. For the next round, my Viper's planning on using her ultimate on A, so I go B again. I toss the usual unbreakable trip, same cage as before and the same cam as before. Since these guys really don't like halls, I'm saving my other trip and toss it on side again.
I think I heard one elbow on that though.
It might be the lurker. Oh yeah, there's a guy B main right now. 2 B main actually.
Sova used a crosshair and his start A. One shot.
Buried. My cage triggered.
Mid.
80 on jet.
Sova's
80 on
in.
2, 80 on 2, 80 on...
Viper and Jett. Viper.
Viper. 80 on 2, 80 on 2, 80 on...
Viper.
80 on 2, 80 on... 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 80
Let's pick up.
They can't go like bridge,
Can
right?
see mid?
They can.
Yeah.
Tripwire destroyed.
Okay. Do I leave? Should I leave?
Two more there.
If you see Sova, tell me.
Get a
'cause
meet in
then
there.
I leave.
Sova, Jett, yeah, and yeah, Viper on three there.
Yeah.
Nowhere to run! Tripwire destroyed.
Let her.
So I end up checking my camera like a dum-dum right here. I'm not sure why, but I was under the assumption that everybody was scaling the right side. Luckily for me, the homie cat goes absolutely massive.
Reloading.
He's gotta be bridge.
Spike planted.
Good shit, Kale.
Gotta give the enemy team respect though. Their utility usage right here was insane. For it to be on the fly right here, they were really cooking it up. Anyways, just like the round from before, yet again I punished the Reyna trying to walk up to shoot my trip. I'm making sure I'm not holding the angle here. I'm just periodically checking it and trying to get the timing on my side to lure her into a false sense of security. When she thinks the coast is clear and turns her attention to shoot the thing, that's when I get my freebie. It's a type of timing thing that you gotta feel out. The next round I head straight towards A because they are not having any luck towards B. I'm not tossing any particularly fancy trips because I don't really have to. If they're expecting me to be on B, these trips will suffice. I toss another one over here on this side and a cage so my KO can play off of it.
I think the guy halls too. I didn't trip it this round. I placed 2 kill trips.
So they're going there.
Better back to it.
This guy trying to scam me out of my gun.
Guy halls.
Cage triggered.
One more. Yeah. Wait.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Everyone
Spike down A.
Cypher, are you maxi, bro?
What?
Are you maxi?
No. How did you know?
How did you know?
That cute ass voice.
Crazy.
Dude, I've barely spoken. How did you tell?
How did
That
you
cute
know?
ass voice.
I lied straight to my buddy's face here. I want to give a quick shout out to my dude Envy on Jett here though. Interactive and positive teammates like this dude are rare on this game recently. Even when he wasn't having the best game, he kept the comms up with a positive mentality which made playing with him so much fun. We need more dudes like this guy in ranked. Anyways, for this round, literally exactly just like the pistol round, I'm being a little cockroach. I'm staying alive and forcing these guys to have to overextend and try to clear me. I want to stay alive and be a complete thorn on their side. Because every second that I stay alive on site, the risk of them being flanked or my teammates coming to try to help just raises incrementally. The movement is very dynamic here. Even though I'm practically stationary in this one rail area, I'm taking a lot of jiggle peeks, a lot of pop shots, just trying to stay alive and being really annoying. I'm mostly prioritizing my life over taking fights. This is why movement is really important. Even though my aim is kind of mid ever since I've been swapping a lot of sensitivities, mice and mouse grips and stuff like that, movement carried me this round. Anyways, now we're moving on to the attacking pistol round. My pistol buy is going to be the exact same. Ghost, cage, and a trip. I toss a camera right here to take a peek into nest and to be able to take a quick glance behind us during the middle of the round. My team seems to want to go to B, so I take back my trip and double back all the way towards A and toss it here instead. I do this because say a duelist speaks A main for info. If he sees nothing and we're at B, he can walk up, but he's going to be hindered by my trip. If he breaks it, it raises alarm bells. If we happen to get stopped at B and have to go back, if the trip isn't broken, it gives us security that they can't be in our spawn. I think this is the best case for map control, especially if you're going to be lurking. I like breaking down the map like this. Since my team wants to go B, that leaves 2 different lanes that I can keep a handle on. I can switch it up and lurk either one depending on the rounds, but that's going to be my basic rule of thumb. If they go one, I try to handle the other 2. But I'm not really doing that this pistol round because when it comes to pistol round and ranked, I think your team needs the most manpower as you can. I'm letting them take control of site while I try to keep a handle on making sure they don't get flanked. I make my way towards elbow and get my sights set on getting a late flank.
Now we have this guy.
You're coming up pause right now. If he doesn't stay alive.
Oh god.
All four. Nice.
Last player standing.
Maxi!
60 on both. 60 on both.
I'm planning for you, Max.
Now it is.
Max. It went from Maxi to Max.
One enemy remaining.
Cage triggered.
After taking out this Reyna, I'm left in a 1v2 and I'm instantly painfully aware that the spike isn't planted for me. So without skipping a beat, I instantly try to double back towards B main. Remember how I mentioned earlier about viewing it as a turn-based game? I use this ideology to completely disrupt their round. Every single time they tap, I jiggle and cause little bits of pressure on them. With every jiggle peak, there's a risk and pressure of me actually committing to the peak. Right now, they're on high alert, so I keep my movement as fast as possible to be an annoying target to hit. I mostly just want to keep disrupting their confidence in holding the spike. With every tap, I react with movement. I don't commit to the fight until I see the chamber going really wide to the left right here, and it lets me isolate a fight with the Jett. After that, I cage off the push, and this guy is pretty much just forced to run at me, and I get the easiest pick of my life. For the next round, my team's leaning towards A, so I come over here and trip the B push. I toss the same cam right here to take a peek into nest and stuff, and just like the graph shows, my teammates are going to be heading towards A, while I keep a handle on the rest of the map.
Close, and then baby dart back by it.
Erased.
For 65.
Cage triggered.
Yo, I need to heal, KO.
I got a Viper molly.
Put your wall down, Viper.
Eagle-eyed.
Lurking is super beneficial to your team because once I make my presence known as a competent lurker, that's going to be in the back of their minds for the rest of the game. If I can disrupt their rotates, that's going to be a huge help to my teammates taking sight. If they're afraid of the middle of the map, well, we're going to know exactly where to expect them. This next round doesn't count though because I completely brain farted. Unfortunately, we lost that round. The next round I trip towards B and then I head towards A and trip this side too before just sitting in halls and trying to look for a pick. Since the last round, the Jett caught me lacking being really aggressive. This time I'm holding for any sort of overextends. Being the lurker, you should try to act on the reaction that your teammates cause. I'm holding the cross for a minute, and so after my teammates plant the spike and start causing some ruckus, that's when I cheat forward to try to play off these guys.
Midders.
One. Two.
Wait, no one's watching mid doors, guys. Mid doors.
I think they're all there,
Yep.
to be honest.
You ran it.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
The next round I try lurking mid, but I get absolutely destroyed by the Reyna, and unfortunately we lose this round. The very next round we go A together, but we get absolutely shut out by this Reyna. So since we're starting to have some trouble, this is where I step into IGL maxi mode.
Okay, one's for there.
Yeah.
Charges left.
Come.
let's
Jett and KO go mid with Viper.
Here.
Viper go mid and give me bum. Go that way, Jett. Entry doors.
Nowhere to run.
Holding B.
Take flight.
We flashed out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'm caging.
Cage
Just,
triggered.
uh,
I am the hunter.
Usually
Cage triggered.
right pyramid.
Where is everyone hiding?
One off.
Jett, this guy can't
Planted the spike.
That ult is okay. Whatever. You know what?
After getting the spike down, I toss a camera so I can keep taking glimpses towards the flank. Right here, I'm prioritizing the win over kills, so I'm just trying to stay alive for as long as I can to prioritize the round.
Oh, bad. It's bad.
I edged the Viper for a little bit just because I wanted to worry about me possibly peeking her.
Drop stairs.
One enemy remaining.
He's gonna go B.
Let's go to that Bravo site.
This next round, since we're going to be going B, I take my trip back and I toss it a little bit more aggressively towards elbow. My boy Envy goes absolutely nuts with the entries though when it matters. Bro is a goat. I lurk up towards elbow, and just like I mentioned before, they all end up rotating towards spawn because from what I assume is fear of my lurk. There's a small chance that they can lurk up behind us through mid, but I'm not really worried about that right now. I just want to make sure I can keep this entire area of the map under control so my teammates don't have to worry about it.
There.
Left side, right side.
Enemies in defender spawn.
There's two there. Wait, three. I think all three there.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Oh my gosh, she just cleaned it up.
I think I got that Radiant player on my team. Let's go.
Sure.
After winning that very last round, their economy is broken, so I call for my teammates to work the middle of the map.
That's nice choice.
You want to play? Let's play.
Cage triggered.
I'll see you.
I got wall bang. I'm dead.
There's three and they're three.
It's the trade. Good job, Max.
Go kill
One more.
Viper. Kill Viper. Go kill Viper. Come.
I end up overheating by pushing spawn and whiffing because I'm fat and ugly, but it's all good because my teammates close it out.
Oh my God.
Last player
Put you
standing.
down, son.
Attacker.
Thank you so much for watching. This is today's Code Word for Chance of Free Coaching.